Okay. Welcome to the second session of our week 10 and 11 video session. Okay, we were on basically decision making biasness and errors. Now, what we have to see right now. Okay, we have discussed last session में last वाली जो आपकी videos में उसमें थोड़ा net का issue था इसलिए आपको कुछ चीजें clear नहीं होंगी. So again we can take the revision. We can revise all these things. Overconfidence biasness we know very well. जनरली जब आप बहुत ज्यादा ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट होते हैं दैट वट एवर यू आर थिंकिंग दैट इज परफेक्टली फाइन, तो समटाइम्स ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस में आप समटाइम्स अपने डिसीजंस नॉट एग्जैक्टली एक एरर क्रिएट हो जाता है या अप टू द मार्क नहीं होते हैं. इमीडिएट ग्रेटिफिकेशन की बायसनेस की बात अगर हम करते हैं तो whenever you want to get the quick payoffs, right? And for that reason, if you want to take the decision, already we have discussed in the last video, for that reason we can say that can be the you can say immediate gratification biasness के जहाँ पे आपको लगता है कि क्विक पे ऑफ मिल सकते हैं उसके रिगार्डिंग आप जल्दी जल्दी डिसीजंस कर सकते हैं. एंकरिंग अफेक्ट द वे यू आर टेकिंग द इनिशिएशन और द वे यू आर टेकिंग द स्टार्ट रिगार्डिंग एनीथिंग. सो वो भी आपका एक स्पेसिफिक स्टेप होता है, उसकी वजह से भी समटाइम्स जो है वो आपकी बायसनेस क्रिएट हो सकती है. सिलेक्टिव परसेप्शन, sometimes you can go for the selective decisions and selective perceptions, and definitely it's a problematic thing. And when you go for the selective you can say perception or biased perception, that can be a basically selective perception biasness, and that is again create the error or mistake, or what we can say create the biasness in your decision. Confirmation bias, that means whatever you are taking the decision through that what we can say different choices or discount information or different जो आपके whatever जो आप different types of information get कर रहे हैं उसकी वजह से जो आपकी contradiction आ रही है आपकी judgment के अंदर, उसकी बेस पे अगर आप कोई भी डिसीजन लेते हैं तो यू आर जस्ट डिफेंडिंग योर डिसीजन ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ कंफर्मेशन बायसनेस. सो अगेन इट्स अनदर टाइप ऑफ कि आपने जो डिसीजन कर लिया है उसको थ्रू फेक इंफॉर्मेशन और थ्रू discounted information you just want to prove that is a perfectly fine. So another one is about framing biasness. Framing bias is when decision makers select and highlight certain aspect. Already we have discussed in the last video, just like we have to make the frame. We just want to protect our decision, whatever we have, you can say taken, or whatever the decision we have made, उसको हम एक प्रोटेक्शन देना चाहते हैं, उसको हम एक फ्रेमिंग क्रिएट करना चाहते हैं. With the specific, what we can say, highlight certain aspects of the situation while excluding other. So you just want to highlight the certain aspects of the situation through which you can defend your what we can say decision. So next one is about availability biasness or bias. Happens when decision makers tend to remember events that are most recent and vivid in their memory. So whatever you have in your memory, you just want to take the decision, or you have to go for it. So again, it's whatever the biasness you have, जो भी available हैं, जो लोग हैं. Suppose हम कोई काम करते हैं तो sometimes a person has to take the decision. तो not necessary पूरे साल का जो आपका काम हुआ होता है वो एक एक चीज उस specific decider कोई director है उसके mind में हो. So what he or she can do is, जो recently आपके जितने events हुए होते हैं उसमें आपने जैसे perform किया होता है, और most of the time भी यही होता है, पिछले 2 साल के या पिछले 6 महीने के आपके events आपको भूल जाते हैं. सो जो आपको याद होते हैं उसकी बेस पे यू कैन टेक द डिसीजन. सो ये आपकी अवेलेबिलिटी बायसनेस है कि वट एवर राइट नाउ यू हैव इन योर मेमोरी, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट यू कैन टेक द डिसीजन. रिप्रेजेंटेशन बायसनेस क्या होती है कि वट एवर you are assessing, the decision maker assess the likelihood of an event based on how closely it resembles other event or set of events. So you can take the, what we can say, you can assess or you can take the decisions on the basis of whatever that thing is, you can say resemble with the event or set of events. जो आपने ऑलरेडी डिसाइड किए हैं, क्लोजली जो आपके रिसेंबल करते हैं आपके इवेंट्स के साथ, आपके सेट ऑफ एक्शंस के साथ. सो वट एवर यू आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग, उसी के साथ जो मिलते जुलते हैं, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली यू कैन टेक द डिसीजन. रेंडमनेस बाइसनेस क्या होती है? जब जिस तरह कोई भी एक्शन है, कोई भी डिसीजन है, उसकी बेसिस पे अगर आप कोई भी जनरल बाइसनेस करते हैं, तो वो रेंडमली वट एवर यू वांट टू, कहाँ पे, किस जगह पे, किसको कितना प्रेफर करते हैं, यू कैन टेक द डिसीजन. यू ट्राई टू क्रिएट द मीनिंगफुल out of the random event. Sunk cost errors kya hai? These are the errors when decision maker forget that current choices cannot correct the past. When you don't, you can say rely, or you are just thinking about that current choices that cannot correct the past. That means जो आपकी past की जो भी decisions हैं, past के जो भी what we can say after effects थे आपके decisions के, that cannot be correct through the current choices. Currently whatever you are thinking, whatever you are doing, जो आप पहले काम कर चुके हैं, that is like a past. So you just forget about whatever you are taking the, you can say decisions right now, that will not affect the past decisions as well. So वो आपका sunk cost error आ जाता है. Self serving biasness, whatever you are doing, आपकी it's all about your thinking, it's all about your biasness, who are quick to take the credit for their success. मोस्टली देयर नंबर ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स, हर जगह पे, हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में होता है कि कुछ लोग होते हैं जो डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ काम जो है वो लोगों से काम करवा लेते हैं, और उसकी सक्सेस जो है वो सारी अपनी एंड पे क्रेडिट लेना चाहते हैं. लेकिन अगर कोई ब्लेम आए तो आप मोस्टली आउटसाइडर्स पे या लोगों पे उठा कह देते हैं. जैसे आप मोस्टली फिंगर पॉइंट आउट करते हैं हमेशा दूसरों की तरफ, लेकिन इफ यू वांट टू टेक द क्रेडिट तो वो हमेशा अपनी तरफ लेके आते हैं. तो ये सेल्फ सर्विंग बायसनेस है. दैट मींस यू आर बायस्ड रिगार्डिंग योरसेल्फ, व्हाटएवर you are doing. Hand-side biasness, it's the basic concept of biasness. It's the tendency for decision maker to falsely believe that they would have accurately predicted the outcome of an event once that outcome is actually known. That means whatever you are doing, whatever the decision you can say you have taken, you are just in a false, you can say believe with a false, what we can say thinking that accurately predict whatever I am predicting, that is accurately, perfectly fine. So again, it's a hindsight biasness, and that is another form of error that we can take while we are taking the decision. Okay, now next one is very important. This one is not too much important topic because it's generally about the biasness and errors regarding our decision we can take, and these are the two basic what we can say thinking types, linear and non-linear. Linear हमेशा आपकी किसके साथ होती है जी? Rational, logic, अकल समझ बूझ के साथ. Non-linear होती है, it's all about our intuitions, feelings, experience, research work जो already हमने structured, unstructured में discuss किया. Okay, now next one is very important topic, that is about organizing. Now, what's the concept of organizing? Basically, as already I have told you in the class, that organizing is very important concept. Now, what's the concept is, and how we can implement it in the overall management of the organizations. So basically, organization, organizing ka jo concept, already I have told you in the class. After planning, this is one of the most important function of management. And when we are talking about, because planning में तो हम just plan कर रहे होते हैं, सोच रहे होते हैं ऐसे 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 करेंगे, we are just thinking about everything. But organizing, now we have to implement our plans, we have to assemble all of the plans. तो वो हमारा organizing का concept होता है. Now what it is basically, and how we have to, you can say, follow all these things regarding organizing concept. Organizing as arranging and structuring the work to accomplish the organization goal. Basically, it's a arrangement and structuring of the work to accomplish the organizational goal. It's an important process during which manager design an organization structure. So another very important thing is, it's very important process through which manager design the organization structure as well. Now, what's the structure of the organization? Just there are number of factors, departmentalization and all that we have to see right now. That is the reason I have told you this is very important chapter and very important concept. Okay, now next one is about what we can say. Organizational structure is the formal arrangement of the jobs within an organization. That is another definition. It's the arrangement of resources for the accomplishment of goal. It's another concept. The structure which can be shown visually is an organizational chart, also serve many purposes. So it's about organizational chart. Already we have number of times we have discussed in the class. This one is about organizational chart concept, and that what we can say by default जो है ये आपका hanging style में होता है, horizontal form में होता है, and this is known as your organizational chart. This is the visual representation of the overall organization flow, or what we can say hierarchy of the or levels of the organization. That is the concept of it, we can say. Basically, it's about organizing. Okay, now what are the basic steps or concepts that we have to cover in organizing in this chapter as well? Now, divide the work to be done in a specific job and departments. That means specific activity and specific authority regarding we have to discuss in this session. Assigns the task and responsibility associated with the individual, means who will be the responsible for that specific activity or job. Coordinate diverse organizational tasks. Then you have to coordinate whatever different individuals are doing the task. Again, you have to make the coordination. Clusters jobs into units. Then you have to make the clusters of the job, clusters the jobs into a unit. You have to make the unit, establish the relationship among the individual groups and departments. Then you have to establish the relationship between the individual groups and departments as well. So one by one, we are moving toward the what we can say from the individuals to the top level management. Formal line of authority kya hoti hai, allocate, deploys the organizational resources kya hote, and all that. So this is all about what we have to discuss in this session from organizing concept point of view. Organizational design. When we are talking about organizational design, a process that involves decisions about 6 key elements. Major 6 key elements कौन कौन से हैं जी, वो हम देख लेते हैं, और इनको हम one by one we will discuss in the next session, in the next video clip. Now, what is work specialization? What is departmentalization? Chain of command, span of control, centralization, decentralization, and the concept of formalization. So this is what we will discuss in the next session. Thank you so much for this session, class. Allah Hafiz.